Hey everyone, it's Cal Jurdy here, founder of Fearless Transformation, where we help organizations grow through training, coaching, and development. Today I'm going to be talking to you about trust, a topic of most concern for most organizations, whether it's a startup to small business to government agencies, all the way to 500 Fortune 500 companies. So, so we work with some folks that we get called on to help them with issues in trust, such as blaming people are blaming each other, where there is no trust between management and staff, or it could be between staff and leadership, between peers, between each other, between managers, between each other. So trust could be happen on all levels. And as a result, then there's blame game, tit for tat. I told you so, she told me so. I'm gonna do this if you do this. We'll start documenting everything in an email, not responding to an email or responding with short sentences. Not able to openly coming and talking to one another because of the fear of confrontation. As a result, productivity goes down, low morale, people are trying to protect oneself, the guard is up high, who are we going to get next, not able to share information, withholding information, and as a result, the clients suffer. And when the clients suffer, now the business suffer. And when the business suffer, their jobs suffer, their salaries suffer. And if there's any room for improvement or any room for promotion, that's gonna suffer. And the whole being organization is going to suffer. Trust is more like a cancer that starts spreading on a very minute area, and then it just spreads throughout the whole organization if it's just not cut right off from the roots. And this is a leadership micro this is more of a leadership where they gotta look at it in a microscope and just be able to find out what's the cause of it and be able to just transform it and cut it before it spreads out. Okay, so on the other hand, we work with some folks who are building trust, and we help them to establish that trust by being vulnerable and being coachable and being willing to put themselves out there and not afraid to be rejected. And as a result, people start, respecting them for standing up, implementing the tools, implementing the coaching, having the training and the development and putting it in practice, not worrying about what other people are going to say, and be able to share their ideas and share what they know, not worrying about, their jobs or someone else is going to take their job. Because, when we help someone else become better at their job, that means we are now, in a place where we are going to be recommended to go higher in the organization. It's not like someone is going to take our job and we're going to go out. We are going to help someone to learn their job so that they can take our job, and that means which means we're going to be promoted if there are room for promotion. If not, then you're able to grow even more in that opportunity and this job, that your role that you're in. Okay, with more trust, you're able to find the morale goes high. And as a result, people want to talk to one another. They walk into an environment where people are collaborating. They have each other's back, that you're not alone anymore. You have a team that's standing behind you that you can trust, that they got your back if you need them. And when there's trust, there's also a place where people are able to come to work and having fun, right? They're having fun. They're not like looking, oh, TGI, right? Thank God it's Friday. So it's more of a place where I'm excited to go to work. I'm excited to serve my clients. I'm excited to, serve the mission and the purpose of the organization. That's what trust do. And you become, a better person in the process. So, and they understand that trust starts from within. It's not from leadership where it has to be created. Leadership has to create the space for trust, but trust has to start from within each person, that be willing and able to put themselves, that they want to trust one another. So What is trust? It starts with assuming positive intent and purpose behind every person that you meet and you talk to. Assuming positive intent and purpose means that you're coming from a place of nothing. You're from a place that, this person they're doing the best they can with the resources that they have. It doesn't mean that they're doing the best they can, that they know, or they're not doing that the best that the job is asking for, but they're doing the best they can with the resources that they have and with what they know. Okay, so you may say, you know what, Cal, that doesn't make any sense. I've explained certain job expectations to people, but they're just lazy. They don't want to do the work. Or you may say, you know what, Cal, that doesn't make sense because we sat down so many times and we explained the process to this specific person, and yet they keep repeating it over and over and over. They're like expecting us to save them. They're expecting us to do the job for them. Okay, and as a result, they're not doing the best they can with the resources they have. Now, I challenge you to look at it from a different perspective. There's no such thing as a bad student. There's only a bad teacher or inflexible teacher. It's not bad, it's inflexible teacher. So consider that the way you're communicating with them, it hasn't landed in such a way that you can put accountability around it if you're a manager. And if you're a staff, you haven't been able to ask for help. Okay, so what is trust? How are you able to assume positive intent? Is being able to come from a place that your manager wants to help, okay, and you want to grow. Those two, you want to be willing and able, because you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot force them to drink. We all heard that before. So assuming positive intent and purpose behind every behavior is key for creating trust. Okay, and then asking the right questions so that you'll be able to help that person to clear that space, whatever that space that's been in the past. Most of the time we walk into a relationship, a new relationship we're not create, but we have all this gutter that's been accumulating throughout these years. The first step is when you want to assume positive intent, you want to come have a conversation with that person. So you want to start with cleaning the space. Basically, it would sound something like this. Hey, John, we worked on many projects in the past. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. I get that at times, I did not communicate the way I'm supposed to, or maybe I take 100% responsibility for not giving you clear instructions, or you can say I take 100% responsibility for coming across as too demanding. You want to find one thing that you can take ownership for. It's not you're taking ownership for the whole breakdown in the relationship. Take ownership for one thing that you can take ownership for and state that. And so it would sound like this. I take 100% responsibility for coming across the way I came across in the past. I get the impact on you that could have caused you that you feel unappreciated, or you feel like I'm talking down at you. Okay, and my promise is from now on, I'm going to have a more collaborative relationship with you by asking you questions and work together in order to resolve whatever the issues that we have and be able to help the organization and serve our clients. Does that sound okay with you? That is key. You got to start with that, cleaning that space first by assuming the positive intention yourself and in others. That's key. Not just in others, but in yourself as well. That you got to come from that space of positivity, that you want to have a collaborative relationship, a trusting relationship with that person. And you want to expect that they also want a positive collaborative relationship, because at the end of the day we all want to work well together. It's not fun to have this tit for tat and usurping and what else trying to send someone else to go represent you with someone versus you go talk to that person because you're having a problem with that person. It's not conducive to the environment. It's not conducive to the culture of growth. Okay, so that is the key for able to create that trust, is positive intention in yourself and in others. Now, I'm going to share with you some tools how you're able to do that. The tool that you can implement, the communication tool, we call it the BAT technique, okay? B-A-T. B stands for behavior. A stands for assume positive intention and purpose behind it. T stands for you want to dig for the truth, okay? So, start with a B. When you go approach that person, you'll start with like, hey, I noticed that you came and you talked to so and so about this specific task, though that I would be the one that you would have talked to. That's the one that I'll be able to help you. I'm assuming that you didn't find me or I wasn't available for you. Is that why you went to talk to so and so? Is that the case? Okay, so let's unpack this. So you address first the behavior. I noticed that you went and you spoke with so and so. Like let's say it's another manager, or it could be your manager. Okay, that's just an example. Okay, versus coming and talking to you because they were supposed to come and talk to you. Okay. Now, you address the behavior, not the attitude. There's a distinction between behavior and attitude. Basically, the behavior is you're stating the fact. I noticed that you went and you spoke with so-and-so about this specific task instead of talking to me about it. That's a fact, okay? You're not being aggressive, you're just stating the fact. And you use I statement. I noticed that you went and you spoke to so-and-so versus saying you went and spoke to so-and-so, right? Or you went and if you want to address the attitude will be this is like, you went behind my back and betrayed me, okay? That now you're addressing the attitude versus stating the fact. I noticed that you went and spoke to so-and-so, or I heard that you spoke to so-and-so versus coming talking to me, okay? That is addressing the behavior versus you went, you betrayed me. Okay, so that makes a big difference. When you address the attitude, that means now you're attacking the identity, and the identity will lash back. The identity is going to defend itself at all times. Okay, and it's very vague. You're opening yourself up for having a quarrel, a conflict. Okay, when you say, you're not trustworthy, or you betrayed me, it's like now you're attacking my identity. What do you mean I betrayed you? And now you're creating that conflict. Versus, I heard that you spoke with so and so, or so and so told me that you asked some questions about this specific project, though that I'll be the one that I was supposed to help you with that. Okay, that's a fact. Step number 2, you want to assume positive intention behind it. You say, I'm assuming. Why you went and talked to that person, I'm assuming because you couldn't find me, or I wasn't available for you, or there's something that I've done wrong, okay? Whatever that is, you want to put it in a positive spin. What is a positive intention that you could assume that came behind it? Okay, and I'm focusing on the word assume, though it has some, we've heard about, do you never assume, you make, an ASS out of you and others, right? And that's the reason why this would work in this specific pattern, because now you are not sure and you're given the opportunity to, come clean, and you're not putting them on the spot. You're assuming positive intent and purpose behind it. And third but not least is you want to ask a question. Is that the case? And notice about my tonality and my body language. Is that the case? Am I missing something? I mean, did I do anything wrong? So the body language and the tonality that comes along with it, that's where it's going to help you. That person won't come and attack you. Versus, I noticed you went and you talked so-and-so instead of coming talk to me. Is that the case? Notice, it's the same words we used, but the tonality was different and the body language was different. Versus, hey, so-and-so came and talked to me, told me that you were asking some questions about this project. Instead of coming talking to me, I'm assuming that you couldn't find me. Is that the case? Right? See that? It's completely different. Now, I'm making this thing up. Remember, okay? It may not make sense what I'm saying, but I want you to get the context behind it. Okay? So, that's how you're able to implement it. My assignment to you is, when you do this, you clean that space. So to summarize is, first and foremost, you want to come and you assume positive intention. You want to clean that space that you brought from you in the past. Any past quarrels that you want to have in the past, you want to address it. You want to take 100% responsibility for one thing that you are responsible for, and state the impact on that person. How did that affect that person? And make a new promise about what is your intention from now on moving forward. Okay, then you go into the communication tool, how to address what happened. This is a communication tool that's going to help you address what happened using the BAT technique. Address the behavior always, not the attitude. Make a positive intention about that behavior, and then ask if that's the case with the body language and the tone of voice that are nurturing. When I say nurturing, recall of, who's the most nurturing person that you ever, met. Probably a nurturing parent or a nurturing teacher. Remember how they came across to you. What made them nurturing to you? Don't come as a critical parent. Come as a nurturing parent. Wish you the best of luck. My assignment to you is to go and clean a relationship from the past, address a behavior that's been bothering you, that's been irritating you, address it using this technique, BAT, and comment on the video. How did that go? And if you want to reach me, send me an email, send me a message. I'll be happy to get with you and be able to hash it out together. Until then, always be fearless and always be growing. Cheers.